Yeah, so I've been studying astrology for like around 10 years, for at least 30 minutes a day. You're a blessing. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I want to let you guys know how I learned about astrology in my lifetime. I've been into it for around 10, 8, 9 years, something like that. Around a decade, close enough to a decade for me to be comfortable saying it's a decade. So I've been looking at astrology for a long time. And it really fit me because every time I talk to someone, I'd be like, "Hey, what's your sign? Hey, what's your sign? Hey, what's your sign?" I'd ask groups. I'd ask one person, and then I'd ask another person, I'd ask another person. I don't give a damn. Really. I'm me. So that's how I was personally. But let's talk about someone else really quick to give you guys some context on the whole ADHD vibe. So Jim Carrey also had that. And Tony Robbins has it. And there's some other people that are really cool that have it too. Okay? It's not necessarily a good thing though. So don't go and assume that you should go and get it or whatever, because it's not like something that you can buy at the store. It's just something that you were born with, which is kind of cool. Whatever. Anyways, this one's funny. So this reads, my report card always said Jim Carrey finishes first, then disrupts the other students. Because he's stupid. He does dumb stuff, and it's funny. It's hilarious, right? So he used to do that, a bunch of stuff like that when he was little, And I mean, realistically, guys, everything you do in your past, it does translate to your future, inevitably. You can't fight it. You can't. I got in trouble big time. I ended up in classes that were special for a few years because I was so excited about spirituality. And nobody else was. I don't know how I managed to stay with that, but I did. It wasn't the same. It evolved a lot. But I stayed with it for the most part. Yeah, middle school, Dragon Ball Z all day. 24/7, 7 days a week, you already know. I was even watching the reruns, man. Cartoon Network, Toonami, that stuff was bomb. Okay? So, that's how I got down. Okay, so I get really distracted often. I really do. The only time I'm not distracted is if I'm in something I'm really loving and I'm really into. But if someone tells me about something, some fact that they learned about, or something that's really underlining this conversation that I'm having with this person continuously, a lot of my friends do stuff like that, right? And I'll just space out. I'll just be like, yeah, okay, this is a cool conversation. Yeah, but this one's cooler? Dude, look at this one. And everyone's like, bro, I will spoil you guys, man. Like, I spoil people with ideas way too much. Like, I need to calm down most of the time. I really do. And if I could always stay in that hyperactive state, I would enjoy that too. Like, for sure. I'd probably enjoy it more. Because it's just natural for me. Mars and Aries. That's one reason why I'm like that. And then my first house in Gemini is another reason. Right? I just can't help myself. I almost want to be like, hey, don't look at science, just look at astrology. No. Look at science. Please don't skip science. Because it's really important. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of wisdom in there. I personally could never sit down long enough to do anything that has to do with studying. You can't sit me down long enough. You really can't. Nobody can. I can't even sit myself down long enough. So, yeah. Anyways. So, when I was in high school, I asked at least 50 students, like, what's your sign? And every time I would ask them what their sign was, I would run home, and just like I did when I found out my Chinese zodiac was in a dragon, just like that, I ran home, and I was like, okay, well, what's a Virgo about? What's an Aquarius about? What are all these other signs about? Because I didn't know about elements. I just knew that this sign meant you were this way. And I'm like, okay, well, if I'm driving a car, then how do I get places? That's my imagination. So I was like, you know what? I'll just use signs. Okay, I'm using signs. And I just subscribed to astrology like that. It was never, oh my gosh, I love astrology. No, it was never like that, and it's never been that way. I've never really subscribed to anything, but this has been helping me the most in my life and in my marriage. It's helped me tremendously. So that's what I'm really grateful for. Yeah, so I've been studying astrology for like around 10 years, for at least 30 minutes a day, because I would substitute, honestly. I would just substitute, because I would be watching something on TV, and eventually I'd be like, this isn't something cool. Okay, I'm gonna go look on the internet. And then I'd automatically go to astrology, and I'd be like, Virgo into Google, or whatever the search engine was back in the day. Because my dad, he always had a computer at the house. So I'd go into whatever search engine of the decade, which was Ask. My dad used Ask all the time, so I'd go on Ask, type in an astrology sign, a bunch of crap would come up, I'd look at a bunch of crap, and then by the time I finished, my show would be on, so I'd be excited again, and I'd go run and watch TV, Man, so much energy. I'm so grateful that most of that has died down. So I can actually sit still now. I can keep myself still long enough to have a real conversation with someone, especially if it's about astrology. That's the easiest conversation I can have with anyone, because it's ingrained in my brain. It's just this cycle. That's my hamster wheel when you really think about it. Every time I think, hey, I need to help this person. Well, what's their sun sign? And then I'll go into the rest of their chart to see if I could help them and if they would enjoy me helping them. Because obviously if I just throw myself at someone, they're going to be like, wow, you're really energetic. And more than likely, that's it. It's like, dude, you're just way too energetic. I want to say I'm introverted, but I feel like I'm more extroverted than introverted. So my goal right now in my life is to find a bunch of people my goal in my life right now is to help you understand your birth chart. And I'm going to do whatever I can to help you do that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but 9 times out of 10, I'm going to start a course, and I'm going to put it in my website, and I'm going to talk about it every video, whatever I can do to help. Since astrology has helped me so much slow down, I'm sure it could help other people with the same hyperactive energy chill out a little bit and really get to know their self, and then their friends, and then the world. You guys are amazing. And I know you've already changed my life, really. Deep down, I can feel it. I'm just so grateful for you. And keep fighting for yourself. Never lose that spark. Thank you for your time.